What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batgirl from Gotham Knights. And so here we have the Gotham Knights Batgirl posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through her one and only accessory, which is her tonfa, which does have a lot of nice little details on it. I just kind of wish it was painted more. And then she does come with the McFarlane display base. Other than that, Batgirl doesn't come with any other accessories, so let's move on to her details. And so here we have a closer look at Batgirl, and I have to say this is one of my favorite Gotham Knight figures that we've had a look at. I think in order of the quality of them, I think Red Hood was probably my favorite. Batgirl might be my new favorite, or she's at the very top because she is very nicely done. And then we have Nightwing, and then of course Robin, who really wasn't that great. But Batgirl here is an impressive looking figure. Now she does have the side eye that McFarlane has been doing. She is looking off to the left, where we had Robin looking off to the right. I'm okay with it. It does make posing her a little bit difficult, but she can at least get in some really nice poses. As far as the head sculpt goes, I really do like this head sculpt. Now, yeah, my lighting right now does make it look like she has mime makeup, but she actually doesn't. They actually painted her lipstick very nice, and I do like the fact that they gave her these really beautiful green eyes, as Barbara Gordon should have. I'm not a fan of the cat burglar style mask. I don't know why they gave Batgirl this as a design. I don't like it. I think half cowl or even a full cowl with her hair coming out would have looked even better. I just don't understand why she would wear just the burglar mask and then basically cat ears. Yeah, it's not really a good design choice. Again, I'm just knocking the design of the video game character, not knocking the design of the figure, because the figure is very nice. I just wish that there was some dry brushing in her hair just to highlight some of those really nice details. She has a very nice sculpt to her hair, and it's just a shame that we don't get any paint detail there to highlight those really nice details. So moving on to the rest of her outfit, Batgirl is very thin. She's probably one of the thinnest figures we've had in the Multiverse line, and just like with Robin and Nightwing, she has this posture where her neck is jutting forward. Don't know why they decide to do that. That's not how your neck is supposed to go, but yeah, Batgirl's neck is jutting forward like the others. You can fix that by like posing her like that, but it does push her stomach out, which, yeah, not a good look for Batgirl. I do like the costume overall. It is a very nice purple, and one thing that they did fairly well, it could have been done better, is paint the yellow on it. There's a few light spots here and there, but overall it's a pretty solid yellow. I kind of wish that the yellow that they used for the cape match the rest of the yellow on her costume, and what I mean by that is her cape is very nicely done. I do like it. It's a very small cape that you would expect Batgirl to have, but it's done in a more yellow-green plastic, where the rest of the yellow on her is done in a more yellow-orange, and that does give a different hue. I don't know if you guys can see the difference in coloration, but her gloves are like a deeper yellow than her cape, and that's mainly because of the fact that these are more on the orange side of yellow and her cape is a little bit on the green side. Same thing with her belt, it's more leaning toward the orange spectrum, so that's why it stands out a little more than her cape. So again, design of the costume looks very good. I do like the padding right here on the shoulders. Then we go on to her undersuit. It does look like she's wearing body armor, so I do like that. We can see the armor platings right here on her abdomen. We have like a gambeson that she's wearing over top, and then a undersuit which looks like Kevlar. Then we have some more detailing right here, and just a very nice paint difference from the light purple to the darker purple. Looks very nice. Doesn't have any paint on the back. I'm pretty sure this part right here, the smooth part, should be the same shade of light purple, because it kind of looks a little bit odd, doesn't it? We have her thighs, the inner thighs, her groin, and then her abdomen and chest in this nice bright purple. Then we go on to the back, and the inner thigh is still that really nice purple, but then we get to her backside and it's the same dark brown or dark purple going all the way up to here. I'm almost 100% certain that this should have been this color, and that's probably just a mishap by McFarlane, or because her cape is in the way you probably wouldn't notice it, but because I'm doing an action figure review, yeah, I'm gonna bring that up. She does have the talons right here on the side of her gauntlet, although they are very small and they are done in silver, which I kind of would have liked it if she had an actual gauntlet with the spikes on it, but yeah, it still looks pretty okay. I think she could have done without the silver. Maybe a gold would have looked better. No detail on the utility belt. It is just slopped on with paint, so any detailing that was on the utility belt is pretty much lost underneath that paint. Now, she does have what appears to be a holster right here, which I'm guessing in-game, that's where the tonfa is supposed to rest, and it kind of does make sense. You can kind of see the spot where it would go, but unfortunately no storage on this figure, so yeah, that is a little bit unfortunate. Something else to note about this figure is, for some reason, her pelvis piece right here shrank from the prototype to the actual figure. You can see it's very narrow. She has this very narrow torso, and then her hips get much wider. I'm okay with wide hips, but this looks a little bit odd. It kind of looks like her suit is shrinking on her, and she's very uncomfortable. But the detailing still carries over from the suit right here, as you can see. Very nice, very good detailing here. She does appear to be wearing some type of knee pad, which is a lighter shade of purple from the main suit, and then not as bright as the inner suit right there. Then she does have some shin guards, which look really good, and then we have her boots, which this is another issue I have with this figure. They could have made her feet a little bit bigger, because as it stands, she has such tiny feet. It does give her a very shallow profile to stand, so she does lose her balance fairly easy. And it doesn't help that on mine the legs were warped out of packaging. You can see this leg is kind of bending inwards, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be straight, and it kind of gives her like this bow-legged look, which overall not a good look. But I did just pull this out of the package, so I didn't heat treat it. I didn't do anything special for it, just out of the box so you guys can see what it's like. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Batgirl pose and compare to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Batgirl pose next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Batgirl posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Batgirl posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. Here we have the Gotham Knights Batgirl posed next to the Art of Crime Batgirl and the Three Jokers Batgirl. And finally, here we do have the Gotham Knights Batgirl posed next to the Arkham Knights Batman and the Gotham Knights Red Hood, Robin, and Nightwing. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to Batgirl's articulation. Now, Batgirl does have a double ball joint at the head, which unfortunately that's about as high as she can look up because her hair does get in the way. Looking down, no problem, and because she does have that angled neck, she can look down quite a bit. Head tilt does work side to side as well as left and right rotation. Her hair is just short enough that you can get it to rotate. She does have a ball socket here in the shoulder, so that does pivot forward and back, up and down, and then out to the side. Goes all the way around, no problem, because this is a soft overlay. It doesn't get in the way. She has a bicep swivel underneath her shoulder piece, so that does hide the joint really nicely. And then we do get a double bend at the elbow. We get a ball hinge here at the wrist, so we do have up and down movement, and then we have in and out movement if you have it rotated, and then rotation on that pin. She does have a ball joint here at the torso. Now, I don't know if it's just a ball joint down here. I think she has a double ball joint system here where she has a ball joint here and down at the waist, but because this is an overlay, you don't get any movement out of that top joint. It's mainly going to be coming from this lower joint where you can see it does move forward and back nicely, side to side, and rotates. Hips do go out to about right there. Now her crotch piece is very tight, so do be careful when moving her around. It might stretch out the plastic a bit and you might run into some issues with it tearing, so do be careful. Legs go out to the side, and this is one issue I have noticed because she has such a very small waist piece. You can see it does kind of get caught in itself, so do be aware of that as you move her around. You can get around that issue. As you can see, it can be worked around, but yeah, be very careful with that because it's a very small piece and you don't want this tearing. She does have a little bit of a thigh swivel, so that does help out. We have a double bend here at the knee. We do have swivel here at the ankle, as well as a hinge which goes forward and back. We can give her a true rocker ankle with that forward facing pin for rocker ankle, or we can just move it and pivot. And then we do have a toe hinge. So overall, Batgirl has some pretty good articulation. It could be better in some places, and the overall design does lend itself to being a little bit on the cumbersome side of articulation because of this particular piece. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get her posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Gotham Knights Batgirl pose for my final thoughts, and overall I think McFarlane has another hit and miss figure here. Though I do appreciate some of the things they did with this figure, I kind of would have preferred a more traditional approach to this Batgirl. I have no idea why both Batgirl and Robin have soft overlay, where Robin and Red Hood had the articulated points, so it's kind of strange seeing that half of these figures got torso cuts and the other half got rubber overlays. But overall, this Batgirl is still pretty impressive. Now, she is a little bit on the thin side, which I do feel does warrant some concern, especially seeing as how the overlay is a soft rubber. I don't know the longevity of that, and seeing as how her hips are very thin and very tight on those T-joints that McFarlane uses, it does worry that it might cause some stress on the torso piece and can tear it. I haven't seen any issues of it so far, but that doesn't mean that it won't happen in the future, so just use caution when posing her legs. Overall, like I said, this is still a very impressive figure. It's not the best Batgirl we've seen. I think the best Batgirl that McFarlane has made has been the Three Jokers, but this is a pretty solid figure, and I think she's my favorite of the Gotham Knights figures. Although they could have been much better, they could have also been much worse, but Batgirl here has a lot more going for her than bad. So I do really think if you're a fan of Batgirl or just want a Batgirl in your collection, this is a really nice alternative and gives you a selection on what you want to use. If you want to use the Art of Crime Batgirl, the Three Jokers Batgirl, or the Gotham Knights Batgirl, we have 3 different Batgirls for you to choose which one is your perfect Batgirl. And I'm pretty sure some of them do share some parts that you can interchange between them, so you can build your very own Batgirl. But overall, I do recommend the Gotham Knights Batgirl if you're a fan of the Bat Family, Batgirl, or just collecting the Gotham Knights in general. So with that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other DC Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.